Hey everyone, Matt here from Titan Vans. Today we're going to be unboxing and testing out this e-bike from TST out of California. This particular model is the TST Buddy 20-inch folding e-bike. We're going to get everything out of the box, then we'll talk about all the specs before we take it out for some test rides. All right, so we just finished assembling the TST Buddy 20-inch folding e-bike, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things. Definitely some nice thought out features on this bike. All of the hardware had Loctite on it, so make sure those things aren't gonna come out, so it's nice to see those little details there. Really like how the neck up here for the bike folds down, but it also has a safety catch on it as well. So this little red button, you can't pull this thing down unless you actually hit the release first there. So I like seeing that, some safety features there. We also have the same feature at the main hinge point here to hit the release before you go ahead and unlock it. Also a nice feature on this is there is a tensioning screw here, so you can actually turn this Allen head here in or out, which will allow it to either tighten or loosen that connection depending on if it ever changes over time, but just gives you a little bit of adjustability there, which is a nice subtle thing that they put in. And then I really like how they did this in this hinge point, so we'll show this more when I get it all the way down, but this guy folding back, the main battery is housed here up in the main channel, but we have contactors and these blade connection points, which actually allows the power to transfer back to the rear motor. So that's how they actually deal with that folding portion to be able to actually transfer that power. So we got these nice beefy connectors right there. So when we rotate this guy back, those connectors click into place, and then we can use this guy to lock down the entire assembly. You'll also notice behind here, we have the button here, which will give us the release to actually be able to take that battery out if we ever needed to as well. So again, some nice little subtle features, definitely thought out. A couple other things that to note in the rear here, they include a derailleur protector, this sort of bar right here. They do not include, however, the 19-inch millimeter wrench needed to loosen the rear axle nuts. So you will need a 19 millimeter when you go to assemble this guy, and would definitely want to keep one on hand if you ever needed to pull that back wheel off. So 19 millimeter wrench will be needed. Another nice feature, especially for this compact design, which is great for van use, it's one of the reasons we wanted to check this thing out. The seat post can drop all the way down, so it's a continuous seat post sleeve here. So it allows this to stick out the bottom, but you'll notice they have this additional sort of protector bar that they've welded on here that will keep that protected even when it's all the way slid down, but makes it a super compact, low profile design when you go ahead and fold the stem down, fold the bike back, and then slide the seat post down. Makes it a very small bike, great for van life, be able to get it in your cargo area in the back of the van, travel with it, and then deploy it so it's not taking up a whole bunch of room. So great little commuter bike to use around if you're gonna be parking for extended periods of time, or even just want to have an alternative way to get around. So again, some really nice features, like what they did here, and they have some good solutions. Really nice heavy duty build. Pretty happy, all the welds look really nice throughout. Solid little bike, especially for the price point, just under $1,000. They're on sale right now. I believe they're a little bit over $1,000 if you buy them not on sale, but still for that price point, I like a lot of the features that we're seeing here for the money. All right, now that we kind of went over some of those first impressions after assembling, we're gonna jump right in and talk about the main specs for this bike. Starting off with the motor. So on the rear of the bike, it is equipped with a high-speed pseudo brushless rear hub motor. Delivers 1,000 watts of power and 70 Newton meters of torque. So it's not gonna have any problem with hills or steep inclines, and you'll get a top speed of about 28 miles per hour. On the right-hand side of the handlebars up here, we've got the 7-speed shifter. That's for the rear derailleur. And then you've got 5 different pedal assist levels on the left handle, so you can toggle between those different options right there. For the suspension, it is a rigid rear, and on the front we have a front fork giving you about 80 millimeters of front travel. And also on the front we have 180 millimeter disc brake rotors. These are cable disc brakes, both front and rear, so not hydraulic, but should be ample stopping power for the bike. Wrapped around the wheels right here, the rubber, are some beefy 20-inch by 4-inch tires. They also have 8 millimeters of tread here, so you're gonna have good traction in both mud, dirt, or even in snow. The battery pack housed right here in the main frame is a detachable 48 volt, 10 amp hour lithium ion battery. It's gonna charge from 0% all the way up to 100% in about 4 hours. And it's included the charge adapter right here, and the charge port is right on the side with a nice little waterproof cover. At a full charge, this is gonna give you about 65 miles of range. Now, obviously it depends on the pedal assist mode you're using and how much you're accelerating, but on average, around that 65 miles. They also sell additional battery packs if you want even more range for 199 bucks, and that'll allow you to increase that range even further. All right, talk about some of the dimensions of the bike. So in the folded, which will show how that looks, we'll break this thing down. Folded dimensions are gonna be 36 inch by 26 inch by 30 inch. So pretty compact when you think about a bike that's designed for full-size adults. It's really gonna pack down tight, give you lots of space in your van, camper, truck camper, whatever you plan on using this with. Handlebar height is adjustable, so you can kind of move this in and out a little bit. There's not a lot of travel here, but you're gonna get around 46 inch of handlebar height. On the seat, we have a range of adjustments here. So max seat height is gonna be 27.8 inches. Minimum seat height is gonna be 23.32 inches. Now, you can also, as I mentioned before, slide that all the way down, so that's even going to be lower. I wouldn't recommend using the bike with that seat that low, just because you do have that post sticking out pretty far down. So it does have indicators on the back right here. It's going to allow you to see what your seat post height and the range that's allowed right there. Okay, now that we've kind of gone over most of the specs, let's get this thing on the charger, show you how the charging works, and we'll go rip this thing around. All right, so charging this up, really easy. As included with the bike is the charge adapter here, so it uses just a standard 120 volt outlet. So plug that in, got a little sort of D-plug here on this side, and then right on the side of the bike is actually our charge port, so it's got a little waterproof rubber cover, so we can just pop that out. It's also got a little retainer screw right there, so you're not gonna lose that little cover. Go ahead and slide that in. Perfect. And then plug it in to our standard outlet right over here. Okay, got the indicator light on here, so showing us that we're charging. So once that guy goes green, we'll be all charged up, and we'll get this thing outside to go play around with it. Cool, all right, so we just got done ripping this thing around outside, taking it in the mud, snow, gravel, rode around on the pavement a little bit too. Initial impressions, definitely pretty peppy. When you crank that pedal assist up to 5, definitely will kick pretty good when you start pedaling. Also kind of nice that you have the ability to just throttle on as well, so you don't even have to pedal. If you just hit the accelerator here with your thumb, it'll kind of maintain speed or even get you up to speed without actually having to pedal at all. To turn the bike on as well, I didn't mention this previously, but it's got a lockout key down here. So you can actually disengage the whole battery system, so none of the electronics will work by turning it. So you do have to put the key in, you turn it, and then the key is locked in when it's in the on position. Once you do that, you can just hit the power button right up here on the controller, and then you can adjust the pedal assist or the throttle speed right there on the left control. Brake-wise, the front brake was definitely good size for the front. Would like to see a little bit larger rotor on the back or a little bit stronger brake. Felt like it was a little underpowered on the rear, but not bad. Definitely is, very safe to ride. But if I was just gonna kind of point out something that I think could be changed a little bit. For me personally as well, coming from the mountain bike world, these handlebars are pretty narrow. Now that does help with how compact the bike is. But for me, I definitely like those wider handlebars. Just gives you more sort of control and stability, especially at those higher speeds. So again, me personally, I would like a little bit wider handlebars. You might even be able to swap these out. But still good size, and again, helps with how compact it is, especially when you're trying to get it in a van or camper or truck. Other thing I point out, front shocks for sure. It's a good amount of travel, definitely fine for the type of biking it's going to be doing. Personally, again, coming from the high-end bike world, definitely notice on the rebound, it has kind of a knock when it rebounds all the way back up. So definitely on the cheaper side for the front suspension. Could potentially be something that gets swapped out, or could be a nice option if they offer sort of like a higher tier suspension option there. But again, for the price point, definitely a reasonable shock up front. But if I was going to be kind of real nitpicky on it, those were going to be some of the main things that stood out to me. All right, well, thanks for watching this review of the TST 20-inch folding e-bike. We're going to put the link down below. Definitely recommend this bike if you're looking for an affordable way to carry a bike with you and have an additional way to get around when you're out camping in your van or truck or whatever you use. We'll be doing a follow-up video as well, so we'll be doing a full durability test review on this after we've had some hours on the bike. So until next time, see you on the road.